bandhana mrityurmukshiyamamritato. Namaste. Everyone seems to be in motion these days. People don't seem to have time to stand still. In fact, many people are afraid of being still. But without stillness, without peace, well, the Bhagavad Gita puts it perfectly. It says to the person without peace, how is happiness possible? Stillness is an essential element of life. And yet, here we are, we have to be active in our lives. But stillness is not about the absence of physical movement. It's about not identifying with physical movement, but rather identifying with the unmoving reality of the soul, even in the midst of physical movement. And that's going to be the focus of this class. So let's come into a comfortable sitting position. Avital will be assisting for this class. Sit upright with a straight spine. Close the eyes, lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows. And begin to breathe, first diaphragmatically, just expanding the belly as you inhale. Relaxing back in as you exhale, nice full belly breaths. And then begin to restrict the opening, the back of the throat. Just narrow that opening a bit so that the breath makes a sound as you breathe through the nose. Makes a sound coming in, makes a sound going out like the ocean. It just slows down your breathing a bit. And interiorizes the mind a bit. It's taking you away from the periphery, away from distraction, into where life begins, in the center of the astral spine. So as you breathe with Ujjayi breath, feel the energy rising as you inhale, descending as you exhale. Couple more breaths. Feel it drawing you to a place of stillness, even in the midst of movement. The breath is moving, the mind is moving, but you're experiencing stillness. And after the next exhalation, let go of the breath. Just let the body breathe as it wants to. And just feel the coming of peace. We're going to focus on deepening that experience of peace, of stillness, through all of our practices. Let's open the eyes now and warm up the body a bit before we go into asana practice. Let's come on to hands and knees. We'll do some arm and leg extensions. First, the left arm and the right leg. As you inhale, reach the arm forward, the leg back. As you exhale, squeeze the forehead and knee toward each other and the hand pointing behind. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale and open. Exhale, squeeze. And again. And back in one last time. And back. And then to hands and knees. Let's do the opposite side. Right arm and left leg. Squeeze in on the exhale. Expand on the inhale. And one more time. And relax down after you exhale. Let's do a little bit of a twist here. Bring the right hand beneath the nose on the floor, and let's inhale, circle the left arm up. And keep the spine straight, but twisting to the side. You can look straight ahead, or you can turn your gaze up past the left arm. And inhale, exhale, relax back down. Let's do the opposite side now. Inhaling, open. Just let the breath flow. And in your next exhalation, let's relax back down. Let's come up to standing now. Do a little more opening of shoulders, fingertips on the shoulders, tension in the shoulders as we circle one direction. A couple of exercises from the energization sequence here. And the opposite direction. Relax, arms down. Now large circles with tension going up. Double inhaling, double exhaling, relaxing down. One more. Other direction. Tense up and relax down. One more. All right. Come into Tadasana now for our asana practice. Relax. Arms at your sides. Close the eyes. Lift the gaze toward the point between the eyebrows. And just come into that place of stillness in the center of your being. Movement constantly happening in the physical body. As long as you're alive, blood is flowing, neurons are firing, a lot of things are happening. But where are you? Are you in stillness? Let's try to be in stillness in the midst of activity. First, let's do Vajrasana, tree pose. Shifting your weight onto the left leg, open the right hip out to the side. You can leave your heel just above ankle as I'm doing, or bring the foot up to the inner thigh as Avital is doing. And you can either bring your hands to the heart and leave them here, or if you like, you can circle them up, just raise them overhead. Try to stay aware of the stillness inside. Yes, the body makes constant micro adjustments to maintain balance. But don't be concentrated on those adjustments. Let them happen. Focus on stillness, silently affirming, I am calm. I am poised. And let's inhale, reach tall, exhaling, relaxing down to Tadasana once again. Close the eyes and just feel throughout this sequence a continuing, deepening connection with inner stillness. Outer stillness, not often an option for us, but inner stillness, always an option. Let's shift the weight to the right leg, do a tree pose to the other side now. As you're ready, find your balance. Just gaze at a stationary point and either keep the hands at the heart or bring them overhead. The breath flowing smoothly. Silently affirm, I am calm. I am poised. And let's inhale, reach up, stretch tall, exhaling, circle back to Tadasana. And just go inside. till you can feel that stillness. It's not an absence of anything. There's a richness in that stillness. It replenishes you. Constantly try to stay there, at least in these neutral poses between the more active ones. But let's challenge ourselves now to do a little more demanding asana. Keep in that place of stillness. Let's do Utkatasana, the chair pose. The palms facing forward. Inhaling, sweep the arms up, hold horizontal, hold the breath, and come down to a crouching position. Let the breath resume. You can have the spine straight up and down or slightly tipped forward, not far. Keep in that stillness. Let the body do what it needs to do to stay in this asana. Let your mind be in stillness. Silently affirm, my body is no burden, it's light as air. Now, if your knees permit, exhale down into the full crouching position, hands up at junction of thigh and abdomen, or stay up with me in the first phase of the asana. My body is no burden, it's light as air. And release the arms to the sides. Inhale, sweep them forward and up, reaching tall. Exhaling, and relax down to Tadasana. Close the eyes. Especially when physical motion ceases, go inside and make the most of that opportunity to connect even on a deeper level with stillness. Let's do Prasarita Padottanasana, wide stance, forward bend. I'll stay sideways to you here. Take a wide stance. Let's inhale. Circle arms up overhead, stretching spine long. Keep the length as you exhale. Hands to thighs. You come forward with a straight spine, bending at the hips. Press into the thighs to lengthen the spine. And the next exhalation, soften fully down. Either bringing hands to the floor beneath your shoulders or hands to the outer ankles, as you wish. Keep the breath flowing. Feel like you're just dumping into the earth all restlessness, all the constant mental chatter. Silently affirm, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. Now soften. Restore the spine to straight, and let's inhale, circle the arms out to the sides and up, stretching tall. Exhaling, bring the hands back down. Relax them at your sides. Just stand quietly for a moment. Feel like you've really unloaded some restlessness here, allowing you to enjoy stillness even more. It's restlessness that makes us a little bit anxious about stillness. Let's do a little more challenging asana. Keep the awareness of stillness in the midst of activity. We'll do Virabhadrasana 1, the Warrior 1 pose. With the left foot forward and the right foot way back. Come into a lunging position, knee over ankle, back leg lifting. Let's inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, opening upward. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. But stay in stillness behind all the effort. One more breath. And let's inhale, straightening back up, stepping forward and reaching tall. Exhaling, Relaxing arms down. Just close the eyes for a moment and kind of recall the experience of the asana. Was the mind darting here and there? Choose a point of focus for the second side of the asana. Try to keep your concentration on it. It could be a physical point. It could be a thought. The affirmation is a perfect place to keep the mind focused. The affirmation is, I attune my will to the source of all power. Let's try it. Let's step the left foot way back this time. Into the lunge. Get yourself set firmly, inhaling, sweeping the hands together, up overhead, arms parallel. Stay with your point of focus. If you chose the affirmation, do it over and over again. I attune my will to the source of all power. And let's straighten up once again. Inhaling, reaching up, stepping forward. Exhaling, relaxing arms down. Shoulders soft. Stay with the point of focus. You don't have to continue the affirmation, but focus on the stillness. It's not that there's nothing to focus on. There's no thing to focus on. But you can just absorb yourself in stillness. Let's go to a balancing asana now, Natarajasana, another opportunity to focus on stillness in a balanced pose. Shift the weight onto the left leg and bring the right foot up behind. Grasp the inner ankle. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, tipping forward at the left hip. Don't go any farther, so far forward that you lose the sense of stillness, that the pose becomes a struggle. Even if it means being straight up and down, so much the better if you can stay focused on stillness. Silently firm. While I move through life, I am anchored in myself. While I move through life, I am anchored in myself. And let's inhale back to upright. Release the leg, exhaling back to Tadasana. Just close the eyes and ask yourself, did I choose an easy enough expression of that asana to stay connected with stillness? This is your opportunity to practice. Let's do the other side. Shift the weight to the right leg. Bring the left foot up behind. Inhale the right arm up. Exhaling. Bending forward at the hip joint. Reaching back with the left leg. Keep the breath flowing. Silently affirming, while I move through life, I am anchored in myself. One more breath. And let's inhale back to upright. Exhaling. Relax, arms down. Just close the eyes, lift the gaze. Stillness in the midst of movement. Focus on the rising and descending currents in your spine. Rising with the inhalation, descending with the exhalation. Can you be aware of them without losing the sense of stillness? Aware of movement, but not losing the sense of that inner stationary awareness. Let's try to do that in a little more challenging asana, Parsvakonasana. Side angle pose. Step it wide apart, turn the left leg out 90 degrees. Come into the lunging position to the side, left knee over ankle, arms out to your sides. Let's inhale, reach to the left, reach either elbow to thigh or hand to floor. Bring the right arm up and over the top in line with your spine. Just keep concentrating on the stillness, even as you observe all the energy pouring through the body. Silently affirm, I'm a fountain of boundless energy and power. You are the fountain, not the energy and power. That's what flows through you. You are the still vessel through which it all flows. One more breath. And let's inhale. Reach up through the right arm, going back to upright, toes forward. Exhaling, relaxing, arms down. Close the eyes and let's get a deeper sense of that, being that vessel through which all movement flows. Which will you identify with? Movement or the stillness? Make the choice. Let's do the other side of Parsvakonasana. Right leg turning out. Left leg in. Arms out to the sides in the lunging position. And let's inhale. Reach to the right. Stretch long. Exhaling. Hand to floor or elbow to thigh. Either way. You can gaze straight ahead, or if you like, glide your chin in and turn your gaze to look up past the upper arm. But no matter where you're gazing, no matter what you're doing, stay with the stillness. I'm a fountain of boundless energy and power. One last breath. Next inhalation, reach up with the left arm, coming back to upright, toes forward. Exhale. Relax arms down, close the eyes. Just feel it getting a stronger and stronger sense of being anchored in stillness. So that movement, activity cannot take you out of your center. Let's bring the feet back together now. And let's come down onto the floor, onto our knees in firm pose, Vajrasana. Sitting back on the heels. Bring the hands, palms up to the junction of thigh and abdomen. Just lift the gaze to the spiritual eye. This asana itself promotes a feeling of stillness. Silently affirm, in stillness I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. Let's now do Adho, Mukha, Shvanasana, downward facing dog pose. Come on to hands and knees. So arms, hands slightly in front of your shoulders. Toes turned under. Spine straight. Yes, inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep the straightness as you exhale and press back and up through the tailbone. Just allow stillness to come over your mind. Feel it flooding your brain. It isn't that you're not aware of movement. It's that you're not wrapped up in it. Silently affirm, calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. And now let's release to child pose. Coming down, knees down, and relaxing forehead to floor, hands back by feet. Just let the body soften for a few breaths here. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Let's come up now onto hands and knees. We'll do Tadasana, Royal Pigeon Pose. Let's slide the left knee forward between the hands, left foot outside to the right side of the body. Stretch back through the right leg. Walk the hands in, coming up on your fingertips perhaps, lengthening the heart, the spine, upward. Like you're rising right out of the succession of moments of time into the eternal now. The ultimate stillness. Just above all movement of time. Silently affirm, I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. And let's release now. Coming back onto hands and knees between sides. Just pause for a moment, straightening out the spine from that backward bending position. And let's do the opposite side. Bring the right knee forward, stretch the left leg back. And walk the hands in. Tuck the pelvis and lengthen up through the spine. Like you're lengthening right up through the spiritual eye. And rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. And let's release from the asana. Come back onto hands and knees, and then sit back in firm pose. Just let the body physically now come fully to rest in stillness. I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. By now we should have a pretty good grip on inner stillness in the midst of activity. Let's test ourselves. A little more challenging asana and see if we can maintain that stillness. Avital is going to do the full locust pose. Okay, Shalabhasana. I'll do the full peacock pose. Mayurasana. Feel free to practice along with either one of us. Avatar is lift her legs with her hands beneath the body. I'll come onto my elbows with hands together and walk the feet forward until I come into Mayurasana. Come out when you need to, but stay still in the midst of effort. And let's release. And come into child pose. Let the body relax now. as you silently affirm, I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. Stillness is that haven of peace. Bathe yourself in it. Now, let's come upright once again into a cross-legged sitting position. Our final asana, Yoga Mudra. Any comfortable cross-legged position will do. Bring the hands behind, palms together, fingers pointing upward, or hands in front, perhaps touching the spiritual eye, perhaps the heart. Bring your forehead down to the floor with a long spine. And if it doesn't reach the floor, just rest it on your hands, spiritual eye on the thumbs. It's the position of surrender. Offer yourself into stillness. Offer every bodily movement, every emotion, every thought into stillness. Just empty yourself of all agitation. And offer yourself into God's presence, which is that stillness. Silently affirming, I am thine. Receive me. I am thine. Receive me. Now let's slowly come back to an upright position. And let's come into Shvanasana, corpse pose. Just lay the body out long on the floor. Give lots of space between the body, the torso, and the arms, and space between the legs. Openness everywhere. Turn your gaze to the point between the eyebrows, behind closed eyelids. Feel like you're relaxing into stillness. Silently affirm bones, muscles, movement. I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression. Churning thoughts. All these I give into the hands of peace. bring your awareness back to the body. It's enough to move the arms and legs a little bit, to roll the head from side to side. Bring the knees up and wrap your arms around them. Roll left and right across your spine a few times. And over onto one side. And when you're ready, come up to a sitting position. Let's prepare for a meditation practice. A little pranayama leading to meditation. We're going to do two techniques. The first one, a technique that Paramahansa Yogananda recommended for pulling back from sensory agitation. So as he would put it, disconnecting the sense telephones. Very simple breathing technique, but it requires the skill of visualization as well. The willpower of controlling the life force a bit. I'll describe it for you and then we'll do it. We'll inhale slowly up the spine, inhale the energy up the spine to the heart. And you'll hold the breath just briefly there. And as you exhale, you'll let the breath out and let the breath stay out as long as is comfortable, feeling the energy from the lower chakras continuing to rise up the spine to the brain. You're withdrawing the sensory energies from the chakras to rise to the spine. Let's do that. Close the eyes, lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows. Make these smooth and slow breaths. A slow inhalation from the base of your spine up to the heart. Just hold the breath ever so briefly, and then exhale and let those spinal energies continue to rise as you sit with the breath held out. When you need to breathe again, inhale. Again, drawing the energies up the spine. Use your will to visualize, draw those energies up to the heart. Hold briefly. And then exhale. And just let the breath stay out as long as it wants to, but feel those energies continuing to rise. Two more times. Inhaling up into the heart. Exhaling, letting go and enjoying that continued rise of the energy to the brain. Last time. Empty the lungs completely. Just expel it all and then sit in that stillness of no movement of the breath. As long as it's comfortable, while the energy continues to rise. When the breath wants to resume, allow it to. And just notice it. Don't control it anymore. Just notice the flow of the breath. Whether on a physical level or on an astral level of noticing the energy currents in the spine. And now begin to notice the pauses. The pause after the inhalation before the exhalation happens. There will be one even if you're not controlling the breath. The pause after the exhalation before the next inhalation begins. There will be one. If you're not controlling the breath, not forcing the body to breathe, notice the pauses. Enjoy the pauses. Those pauses are moments of stillness. lengthen those pauses a little bit, but not forcefully. And now notice that that stillness continues even when the breath moves. The stillness of the pauses, it's behind the movement of the breath. We think it's only when the breath isn't moving, but it's always there. It's just a question of where we put our attention. So whether the breath moves or the breath doesn't move, enjoy the stillness. And notice also the pauses between your thoughts. You're not thinking constantly. Enjoy the pauses between the thoughts, the spaces. And notice that even when the next thought comes, the stillness between the thoughts is still there, behind the thoughts. Enjoy it. The stillness of the soul is always there. prepare the mind to come out to an outer state of awareness without losing that sense of stillness. As you're ready, slowly open the eyes once again. Paramahansa Yogananda said that God is the unmoving presence at the heart of every atom of creation. If we would know God, we must know stillness. Joy to you.